8 is the time now. The Duke of Sussex has told the BBC he was anxious about turning 30, excited about turning 40 this weekend.
In a statement, Prince Harry said becoming a father has given him fresh perspective and increased his desire to make the world a better place. Should warn you, this report by our senior royal correspondent Daniela Ralph does contain some flash photography.
It's been a turbulent decade for the Duke of Sussex. He's become a husband and a father, split acrimoniously from the royal family and moved to California. But he appears to be approaching his 40th with a sense of positivity. We asked Prince Harry how he felt about his birthday. In a statement to the BBC, he told us, "I was anxious about 30. I'm excited about 40. Whatever the age, my mission is to continue showing up and doing good in the world." He also spoke about the importance of his family, with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and their children, Archie and Lilibet. "Becoming the father of 2 incredibly kind and funny kids," he said, "has given me a fresh perspective on life, as well as sharpening my focus in all my work. Being a dad is one of life's greatest joys and has only made me more driven and more committed to making this world a better place. Bring on the next decade." Back in May, we filmed Harry as he led the games at a kids' party while visiting London. Every child in this room has lost a parent who served in the military. In recent weeks, there has been speculation that Harry's next decade could include a return to the UK on a more permanent basis. But those who know him well have told me he has no interest in giving up the life he's built in America. As he heads into his 40s, though, there will be some strong reasons pulling him back to the UK. The Invictus Games for injured servicemen and women will be held in Birmingham in 2027. Created by Harry when he was 30, it remains a personal passion 10 years on.
He's described it to me, as his first child. It is a very important thing. I think it speaks very deeply to the soldier in him. If you look back at 2014, there was a strong representation of the royal family, and it was great to see. And of course, everybody hopes that we'll see that again.
But his fallout with the royal family has been painful for all concerned, particularly the broken bond with his brother. There is no reconciliation on the cards. The Diana Award, set up in his mother's name to empower young people, is in a unique position. Despite the family tensions, both William and Harry continue to engage with the organisation, but in different ways. Next month, Harry will be in New York to highlight their work.
We're deeply honoured to have both of them, but on the other hand, they've always both said, it's their mother's charity, they're deeply committed to her, deeply committed to the work, and it's something that they just continue to support.
In Colombia last month, to promote the work of their Archwell Foundation, there will be more of these types of trips ahead. They are the Harry and Meghan version of a royal tour. A 40th birthday can be a time to reflect and ponder what's next. For Prince Harry, there is much to think about. Daniela Ralph, BBC News.
Let's talk to royal commentator Jennie Bond. Jennie, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us on Breakfast. It's interesting reflecting on where Prince Harry is now. And he says he was anxious about turning 30, he's excited about turning 40. What do you make of where he's at?
Yeah, well, 30 was a difficult time for him. He had been in Afghanistan. He was pretty traumatised by all of that. He was having panic attacks. He broke up with his girlfriend, Krista Burness, just before he was 30. It was a pretty miserable time for him. Now look at his life. He's got what he wanted. He's in America. He's with the woman he loves. He's got kids. He always wanted kids. He lives in the sunshine. Yes, he's had a massive rift with his family here, but I think he's put that pretty much to one side. And this has confirmed what I thought, his statement to the BBC, which is unusual in itself, I must say. His statement that he's very excited about the next decade. I think it's full of joy of being a parent, and it confirms what I thought, which is he's happy in his new life.
And in terms of what the couple set out to achieve in the United States, are they succeeding, do you think? Because obviously the narrative here is still very much focused on the rift.
The narrative here, in my view, has become extraordinarily petty. We seem to deride everything that Harry and Meghan do. And personally, I think that if Harry's going to reflect on his life at 40, maybe we should reflect on what we say about them, because there's this tendency to rip them apart. Yes, he's been a very silly boy, in my view. He's made some absolutely ruthless and devastating and damaging and hurtful accusations about his family. I don't think he expected it to create such a, in my view, terminal rift with William, and a very, very difficult path back to reconciliation with his father. Yes, he's been stupid, but we don't have to mock everything they do and say and how they act. For example, in Colombia, Daniela was talking about that. I thought it was fantastic that someone with Harry's kind of platform stood up and said, hey, we've got to stop what's going on online with our children. Some of whom, the people he was with, were parents of a child who had been driven to suicide by the dark web. Thank goodness someone like that is using that platform to do good. And in his statement to you, he confirmed that that's what he wants to do in this coming decade, just do good in the world with the platform he has. And all credit to him.
And talking of the platform, obviously we've seen the book deal, we've seen the deal with Netflix as well. Where do you see him in a career, or, you know, in terms of sustenance, maintaining a lifestyle, where do you see that going?
Well, I think he will continue to campaign. They will continue to visit, I won't say tour, various countries, highlighting issues they care about. That's what they want to do. They're pretty rich. I know he goes on about money, and I think that's a bit daft, personally. I mean, today, on Sunday, when he's 40, he will inherit more millions from his late grandmother and great-grandmother. So he's not short of a bob or two. So I think he can use that, as he says, to do good. And I think we should stop actually trying to call these tours a royal tour. I've done it myself. I'm not blaming anyone. I've called it a quasi-royal tour. It's not. Well, you know, we don't have to follow them. He doesn't invite a media party. In fact, he doesn't want the media, it seems, to go with him, just one or two reporters. So let's stop mocking them for saying it's a royal tour. They're just using their fame to do what they think will make the world, as Harry says, a better place.
Jennie Bond, royal commentator, good to have you with us on Breakfast. Thanks very much.
8:24 at the time, Morning Live, following us on